Is Tennessee going to give Georgia's defense a challenge? That's been the question that a lot of people have been asking all week long. We know that Tennessee's offense likes to move fast. We know they can put points on the board. The game is going to be in Knoxville, and it could be a hostile environment for Georgia. I think the Dogs do travel, but is Tennessee's offense good enough to give Georgia's defense a real run for their money? What would be the first run for their money all year? Ryan Gurley from Dog Post here, bringing you all the details, some commentary on the topic. So, and remember to go to the site dogpost.com, subscribe if you're not. I don't know what you're doing. I got the numbers pulled up. I've watched Tennessee a little bit this year, and yeah, I mean their offense is solid, but they haven't faced a beast like the Georgia defense, and that's kind of what I say every week about some of these opponents. Every week we talk about, is Georgia's defense really that good, or have they just not faced really good competition? And the more and more I go through, I'm like, well, Georgia's defense is really just that good. Look at what they're doing to every opponent. They completely shut down Arkansas. Kentucky probably had the best offensive game against Georgia, putting up 13. A couple touchdowns, but other than that, I mean, Clemson couldn't do anything against Georgia's defense. Florida really couldn't do much against Georgia's defense. We thought at some point Auburn might, but that ended up not being the case. Obviously, Vanderbilt scored 0 points. South Carolina got a garbage time touchdown. UAB didn't score an offensive touchdown against Georgia. Georgia shut down everybody this year. They are only allowing about 6.6 points per game. They're number one defense in the SEC. They're the number one defense in the country. These guys are legit, full of NFL guys. Is Tennessee's offense good enough to break that 14-point mark that we haven't seen anyone break against Georgia's defense? I think they could. I think it's possible that Tennessee could get up to... I don't see them scoring more than 20 points. I would be... If you're asking me and I see the score after the game, obviously I'm going to be up there watching it in person, but if I saw that Tennessee scored 20 points on the Georgia, more than 20 points on the Georgia defense, that's when I would become either a little surprised or concerned and say, well, maybe this defense isn't as good as we thought. But that there's going to be, even an elite team like that is going to have a game or two where they I don't want to say slip up, but they allow more points, obviously. But am I pronouncing his name right? I'm not sure how to. I don't know if it's Hendon or Hendon Hooker. I'm just going to call him Hooker. Tennessee's quarterback. It's good. He has 190 quarterback rating all year. He's got a 21-2 touchdown interception ratio. That's phenomenal. It's really good. He has almost 2,000 yards. I mean, they run a fast offense. Fast. I think we talked to the media got to talk to Lewis Cine on Monday, and people were asking him. We were asking him about, how are you guys preparing for an offense like Tennessee's that likes to move so fast? People kind of compare it to guarding the triple option. It's not the same thing. It's very different. People like to compare it to the speed of the Gus Malzahn offenses at Auburn. Okay, that's fair. Not exactly the same, but yeah, Tennessee moves fast. I think, I don't know if this number is 100% right, but I think they like to run a play like 7 seconds after the last one. That's a quick moving offense. That's no huddle moving. So we asked Lewis Cine, what are you guys doing to prepare for that? And his answer was, well, if they're ready in 7 seconds, then we just need to be ready in 5 or 6. We know that the Georgia's preparing for whatever opponent's ahead of them. We know they're going to be ready. I think that they're going to be ready. If you go on Final Feelings on dogpost.com, my official score prediction for this game is 41-10. I'm super confident in this Georgia team and super confident in this Georgia defense to shut down Tennessee. Dogs travel, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if there was a significant number of Georgia fans at this game. The last time me and Dean checked a few days ago, it was not even close to being sold out, so I'd have to look again to look at the numbers to see what I think. But, Georgia fans are going to pick up those tickets. There's going to be some students there, and they're going to... I don't know that this environment's going to be as hostile as we think. Yes, it's 100,000 people, but... Tennessee student section is already in trouble. The Tennessee fans have already gotten in trouble this year. The mustard incident and all that. So is Georgia going in? It's going to be cold, but Georgia's defense. I think defense travels more than offense does, if you ask me. I think a lot of people would agree with that. And Georgia's defense has traveled everywhere and gotten the job done. Nobody has scored more than 13 points on the Georgia defense. Do we think that Tennessee is good enough to do that? I don't think so. I'm coming on here and saying that I don't think Tennessee's going to break 20. They broke 24 against Alabama. It was a fight for the first half and a little bit in the second half, and then Alabama ran away with it. Obviously, Alabama's a better team than Tennessee, but I don't think Alabama is really that close to Georgia at this point in time. If you ask me, Georgia's in a league of its own, and then Alabama's underneath, and that's just the situation right now. And so I'm not so sure that Tennessee is going to put up 20 on Georgia. I don't know. I mean, you got to look at it's the recruiting by Kirby Smart, the development by this staff has been phenomenal, and this year has been just total. It's come to total fruition for them this year so far, 9-0. And if they beat Tennessee and go 10-0, I think that's only like the third or fourth time that Georgia has gone 10-0 to start a season. I mean, this is one of those kinds of seasons for the Dogs, and this defense has anchored them to the point they're at. The offense is phenomenal. We know that the offense, maybe phenomenal is a stretch. The offense can be phenomenal. We know they have the potential. We know they have the stars on offense, and they can put up points if they have to. But the defense has done so much of the heavy lifting this year. And I think Georgia's going to score. I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to shut down Georgia's offense. The real question is Tennessee going to be able to put up a lot of points? My answer is no. I don't think Tennessee. Josh Heupel, what he's done with the program this year, I think they're pleased with that. 5-4 so far, third in the East. But Georgia's going to want to go in and sweep the SEC. Kirby Smart, they are looking at this one game at a time. They're not looking ahead. They're looking at this one game at a time. They're prepping. They've been prepping all week, this defense. We know because we talked to a couple of the guys about Tennessee's speed. They're prepping specifically for that because that's what you do when you're a football team. And they're prepping for crowd noise in case that it's a hostile environment in Knoxville. I'm excited to see. It's going to be cold. It's gonna taste like football out there. It's going to smell like football. I tell you that. I'm excited about that. It's going to be coursing through my veins. But ask me, I don't think Tennessee's going to put up 20 on Georgia. My official prediction's 10. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 17 or something like that. But if Tennessee scores more than 20 on Georgia, that's where I'm like, whoa, let's pump the brakes here. I didn't think that Tennessee could do that against a defense this elite. It's kind of my take at the moment. So you guys let us know what you think in the comments. Can Tennessee put up 20 on Georgia? That's my question.